Hi guys, welcome to Linux YouTube channel. My name is Ram Mishra and I am your online instructor. So what's new in this video? In this video I will tell you how to configure AWS Route 53 service in Terraform. So guys, let's begin the session. But before start the live session, we have to understand few points, which is what is AWS Route 53 service and how it can be configured via Terraform. So basically Amazon Route 53 is highly available and scalable domain name system DNS web service. We can use Route 53 to perform three main functions in any combination like domain registration, DNS routing and health checking. If you want to configure Route 53 service using Terraform, we have to define few Route 53 resources like AWS underscore Route 53 underscore zone for zone configuration. It may be public zone or private zone which is associated with the VPC. Similarly, we can configure AWS Route 53 health check for health checking, which is used to monitor the health of web applications, CloudWatch alarms, or even other health checks. We can also configure AWS Route 53 records, which provide a Route 53 resource record. Similarly, we can configure routing policies and many more things with the help of Terraform. Every resource code is available in Terraform official website. You can check from there and download and configure the code as per your requirement. So the point is what I'm going to demonstrate to you in this video. Here I will configure two EC2 instances on AWS platform and will configure Route 53 services for name resolving purpose. So guys, let's begin the lab session. So currently I am in my Linux machine and currently I'm using RHEL. I'll show you first of all the release version of this machine, Red Hat release. See, currently it is 9.0. So let me create a new folder for this Terraform project. So project project 1, could be name, could be anything. Let me open my Visual Studio Code. So I'm going to open my Visual Studio Code software for configuring and deploying Terraform configuration files. So here it is. Let it be load, make it large for you. Yeah, perfect. Now let me close that one. And okay, see, here is my project 1 folder. So guys, this is my Visual Studio Code, and you can see that currently I am in my project 1 folder and there is no file available on this location. Okay, so before start working on Terraform, let's create a provider file for first for your cloud provider, and I'm going to demonstrate for AWS cloud provider. So in my case I'm going to launch my EC2 instance in North California region. So I create a file and put up the entries, and name could be anything, but the extension should be .terraform format.tf file. Okay, so I'm going to create a provider file first, provider provider.tf. okay, so let's put up the entry provider. My provider is AWS, and I have to define the regions. So region is US West-1, that is North California region. Okay, so that's sufficient for my provider file entry. Now I'm going to press Ctrl S to save this configuration file. Here I'm going to press Ctrl Save. Okay, now I'm going to run the Terraform init command. So I need to open my terminal. I click on the terminal, new terminal is here. Okay, and let's start Terraform init command. Okay, so basically this command will initialize the working directory containing Terraform configuration files and install any required plugins. So when you run the Terraform init and init command, any plugins required such as AWS Cloud Provider are automatically downloaded and saved locally into the Terraform directory. Okay, so now you can see that under my Terraform project directory I have one more hidden directory called .terraform. Look at that, .terraform, and where the required plugins are stored. Okay, so now move to the next step, which is make a EC2 instance resource file. Okay, so let me close that terminal. I'm back on my project directory and I'm going to create one more file. Name could be anything. I'm going with ec2.tf. extension should be always .tf, and for the time saving purpose I have downloaded all code from Terraform official website and modify as per my need, otherwise video will be very long. So let me copy the code from my file and I will explain each and every term for you. Okay, so here I am on my notepad file. Let me copy the entire code for you. Right click and paste it here. Okay, now Ctrl S for save. So let's start one by one. So I started with resource field. Resource is AWS underscore instance and then the first. So resource is AWS instance, which will be always the same in the case if you're using launch or you're planning for launch EC2 instance. Then I put up the identical name. It could be anything, but as per your choice. Here I'm using first for my first EC2 resources. Okay, then I use AMI ID, AMI and the AMI -018D, something like that, the image ID. Okay, for the AMI ID you can log in into AWS Web Console and you can grab it from there, your desired AMI ID from your available region. So well, I'm going to demonstrate this lab on North California region, so I grab this AMI ID from North California region. Let me show you on my AWS console also. So here is my AWS console and currently I am in US West-1, and if I click on the launch instances, you can see that currently there is nothing in it, is in running position or it's available any instances in this environment. Okay, so let me go back on my terminal again on my Terraform console, and now I have to tell about the instance type. So I go to the T2 macro. This is my under Feta account, and then I define few more entries like key type and tag. So key name is new underscore NC. Please be sure this key should be available on your AWS region. It is already there. Let me show you one more time. If I go to my key pair, see key is already there, new underscore NC. Okay, so now I'm back on my EC2 dashboard. Let me refresh. Okay, all good. So going back on the screen, see tag is equal to name first underscore EC2 tag. So this is the tag. So now I'm going to use the same code for another EC2 instance and just change the identical name in the tag name. So this time my identical name for the second identical name for second EC2 instance is second, and tag name is second underscore EC2. So that's sufficient entry for this EC2 instance. Now I just save this entry and quit from there. So I use Control S, and guys, this all about these entries are done successfully. We have saved. Now time to check. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open one more time the new terminal for here. Let it be, make it large for you. Okay, now let's start with the syntax check first while running Terraform validate command. So I can go to run Terraform validate. Okay, let's check the syntax error first. Okay, success, the configuration is valid, looks all good, no error found. Do not forget to review the execution plan first before deploying on AWS cloud provider. So for this I'm going to run Terraform plant command first. So Terraform plant. So once I go with the Terraform plant command, let's see what happens. Okay, plan 2. See, if I it says if I go with this plan, it will add 2 new resources. So let me show the resources. First resource entry would be if I scroll up a little bit, see first EC2 instance and the second EC2 instances. Look at that. This is the first EC2 instance, and similarly I have the another resource or another EC2 instance which is second EC2 instances. Okay, so now I'm going to, after review the execution plan, apply your changes. So for this I use the Terraform apply command. So now I'm run the Terraform apply. Okay, enter the value. Are you sure to continue to go with these 2 resources? I said yes, and it will take some time. Now you can see that instance is going to be created, and AWS instance dot second, AWS underscore instance dot first, and little bit will take some time. So just keep patience. Still creating. Okay, yeah, complete. Apply completed. Resources 2 added, 0 change, 0 destroy. So you can see that instance is successfully deployed, and let's verify the EC2 instance entry from AWS console. So I'm back on my AWS console, and now if I refresh it, my EC2 dashboard, see 2 instances running successfully, and it is in running condition. first underscore ec2 and second underscore ec2. Okay, even I can check it from my Terraform command also. We have a command terraform state list. So once I press enter terraform state list, see my resources is there, first and second, AWS underscore instance dot first and similarly dot second. So I'm going to close that terminal. I have successfully launched two EC2 instances with the help of Terraform configuration file. Now I move to the next step, which is configure Route 53 services for these EC2 instances. So for this, I'm going to create another Terraform file for Route 53. So what I'm going to do, I'm back on my project directory, say right click, new file, route53.tf. Name could be anything, extension should be .rs tf file. Okay, so let me copy the code from my notepad file and paste it here, and then I'm trying to explain each and every entry. So I'm back here, let me copy the entire code. Okay, and paste it. Let me Control S for save it. Okay, so I'm going to start from the first line. So let me try to explain the entry. Firstly, I start with the data source for default VPC. So here I am using the data source entry. A data source allowed Terraform to use information defined outside of the Terraform. So AWS underscore VPC provide this one. This is the data source, provide details about a specified VPC. So here I go with my default VPC. That's why I'm using default is equal to true, and testing. This is my identical name or logical name for the data source entry. Then in the next step, I want to confirm my default VPC ID value. So for the print of the desired result, I use output block. Okay, output value make informations about your infrastructure available on the command line, and we can expose this information for other Terraform configuration to use. Check underscore my underscore VPC ID. If I'm talking about this one, check underscore my VPC underscore ID. So this is the value name. It could be anything. The value would be print is my data source VPC ID. So here where I can use this value to build my another resources. So value would be data. This is data dot underscore AWS underscore VPC under AWS underscore VPC dot testing and dot ID. So this value show my VPC ID. Okay. Then in the next step, I use AWS Route 53 zone resource entry. This one, that is important. Okay, which will create a new zone, which name would be example.com under my Route 53 services, and resource identical name is my underscore test underscore zone. It could be anything. It's a just reference name, and but it should be unique in the configuration file. Then I use VPC block and VPC ID block, and the name, the domain name is example.com. Okay, and then I use the VPC block to attach this zone to my default VPC. So here I'm creating private hosted zone which required a VPC entry. Okay, then in the next line I mentioned comment for the description. So this is the kind of comment, terraform underscore hyphen route hyphen 53 demo. This is all about just for the description. And in the next line I mentioned the tag entry. So tag environment is demo. It is, in my case it is demo, could be anything, choice up to you. Then I create another resource entry which is Route 53 record. That is very, very important. So let me make it start. Okay, here. So resource AWS underscore Route 53 underscore record. That is very, very important. So the record in Route 53 can be configured in Terraform with the resource name AWS Route 53 record. The first underscore record is the identical name. That's again the reference name, and then I use this identical name. Then I mentioned the zone ID. It is required. This is the zone ID. This is very, very required. This is the ID of the hosted zone to contain this record. This point out my earlier Route 53 zone resource entry. So AWS Route 53 underscore zone dot my test zone dot zone dot ID. So where it is, look at that. You can compare the value AWS Route 53 zone from here. Then my hyphen test dot zone. This is, and zone underscore ID. The ID of my AWS zone. Okay, the Route 53 zone. And then in the next line I mention then in the I use name here. Name is what? So in the next line I mention name, which is again it is required field, the name of the record. So for this I set the nice name entry. This that is first.example.com. It could be anything as per your need, and then I have to define a type of record. In this this is the required field. So here this record is address record. It could be different value as per your need. Value could be based on address record, canonical record, mail extended record, name server record, pointer record, text record, and many more. Okay, but I go with the address record here. Then I define the TTL field, time to live field. It is very important. It is required field, and here I'm using sign 600 seconds, so you can change it as per your need for update the records entry. And then finally I mention records. This is the required field, a string list of records. So here I define my EC2 first instance private IP address. Okay, because currently I'm using private hosted zone. So in short, what I'm telling, so if I'm talking about this entire block from 19 to 25, what I'm going to do in short, I'm telling my AWS Route 53 record resource, create a new address record which name would be first.example.com under my example.com domain, and it's a type address record, and whose TTL update entry will be 5 minutes, and use this address record for EC2 instance over its private IP address. Similarly, in the same manner, I create another record for my second EC2 instance with different name, and this time name would be second.example.com, and use the second EC2 instance private IP to map this record for naming convention process. So that is sufficient for entry for this Route 53 entry. I'm going to save and quit from this file. So let me control save, and now open the terminal one more time. Let me go with the syntax check first. So I said terraform validate, okay, looks good, no error found. Let me review the execution plan first before deploying on AWS cloud provider. So for this I'm going to run the terraform plan command one more time. Terraform plan, okay, because instance is already created, so it is in refreshing condition. See, plan 3. So what does it mean? It says if you go with this plan, it will create 3 new resources. Okay, so after review the execution plan, apply your changes. So and see that here I have my VPC ID, the default VPC ID. Okay, so let me check the default VPC. So if I go my VPC section on my dashboard, let me show you. Here is my VPC. See, my VPC ID is 2B388B. This is 2B388B. Perfect. So now I'm going to finally run the Terraform apply command. But before run the Terraform apply command, let me show you the current entry of AWS Route 53 services from my AWS dashboard. So again, I'm back on my AWS dashboard, and if I here type Route 53, let's see. I'm opening in a new tab. Okay, so guys, here I am in my Route 53 services, and you can see that under hosted zone here, if I click here, see there is nothing related to the my private example.com zone entry. Okay, so I'm back on my Terraform console, and finally I'm going to run the Terraform apply command. So if I say Terraform apply, press enter, refresh state. Okay, now are you sure to continue? I said yes. So it will take some time, we need to be patient. So let it be complete first, then I will explain. See, zone is going to be created, still creating, so just wait for a couple of minutes. Still creating. Okay, here's the ID of my test.zone. Okay, and here is my VPC ID. Okay, let me check from the, let it be complete first. See, first.example.com entry. Done. Apply completed, resources 3 added, 0 change, 0 destroy, and it's totally successfully completed. And let me verify the resource list from the Terraform console. So I have a Terraform state list first. Yep, you can see that all resources entries are there, and like my instance, my zone, and my record entries. Okay, now I refresh my zone. See, example.com zone is there, which is deployed the new Terraform. And let me move to the console. So earlier it was nothing. Now I am going to refresh the entry. See, here it is, my zone, that is example.com, and which is deployed through my Terraform, and it is private zone. And look at the description, Terraform Route53 demo. And if I open this private example.com domain, look at that, address record is there, first.example.com, second.example.com, with the associate private IP addresses. See, we can cross verify 24.80, 24.80. So if I click on the this machine, see, it's not. Let me go to the second one. I'll refresh the entry. Okay, see, the IP is there, private IP is there, 2480. Okay, so now time to check name resolving process. So this is the first entry, and if I go back on the example.com, the second entry is 17.254. So again back on here, if I uncheck and check in that second one, 17.254. So how to check the name resolving process? Let it be connected to the second EC2 instance. So I'm going to connect the EC2 instance and say connect. Okay, establishing connection. Okay, I'm here. I got my terminal, and see, if I run the nslookup command, nslookup first.example.com. So nslookup command, if I run the nslookup command, it should work and find out the corresponding IP address or DNS record. So once I press enter, see, it's resolve its name to the IP address. Even I can ping it also, and should respond properly. So if I go back and run the ping command, let it be checked. Yeah, I got the name resolving process successfully done. See, we can run the ping command also. Even we can check from the second machine also. Let it be connect to the another EC2 instance in the same manner. So what I'm going to do, I'm back on the first EC2 instance one more time, going to connect and click on the connect. Okay, nslookup and second.example.com. Yep, it's resolved successfully. And see, ping, yeah, I got the response with name as well. So it's working perfectly. So this is how we can configure Route 53 using Terraform and start naming convention process. This is the private hosted zone. That's why I'm using the private IP addresses, and create the entry in the record format in my private zone. But if you want to go with the public zone, you can follow the same process. Entire code is mentioned in the terraform.rust.io site. Okay, you can grab the code from here and follow the same thing. So if you want to destroy all your code resources, go with the Terraform destroy command. So I'm back on my one more time in my Terraform console, and if you want to remove the entire thing, you can go with the destroy, or you can also use auto approve if you're damn sure about that one. So I use auto approve, but be remember it's very dangerous. So always use Terraform destroy and ask for the confirmation. So guys, it's all about this demonstration, and finally this is the end of this topic. Hopefully you enjoyed and learned new things. Soon I will come up with another new interesting topic. Till then, keep practicing. If you feel something I have missed or you wanted to know more something else, please reach out to me and through my social media links, and subscribe my YouTube channel for more updates. If you like this video, please do not forget to like, share and subscribe my channel, and press the bell icon button for the latest update. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and goodbye.